My funding priorities at the state level, first of all, is education. I think in order for us to grow as a state, we have to have a well-educated workforce, well-trained workforce. And I think our common schools and our career tech system, along with our higher ed system, is essential in providing that, and they must be funded. I think we should set a goal of having world-class schools and not third world schools. And the way we're headed now, as they're getting defunded, we're looking at third world schools because their needs are not being met, as are most of the needs of basic resources, basic funding of necessities in the state of Oklahoma are not being funded currently under the current tax structure that we have.
Priorities fall into my triangle of success, as I put it. My triangle of success that I came up with is economic development, emergency services, and education. I believe that if we complete this triangle, then of funding and support throughout the state, that these issues taken care of, the triangle will be complete, and our state and our district as a whole will excel.
I'm opposed to lowering the personal income tax simply because we need a balanced tax system in the state, and as long as we rely on income tax, sales tax, gross production tax, automobile tax, that sort of thing, as our only sources of revenue, I can't see that there's any possible way that we could make up the $2.4 billion that we collect in personal income tax in any other way. And as I said earlier, we're not funding our necessities in the state of Oklahoma, our basic programs in the state of Oklahoma with our current tax structure. And if you cut out roughly a third of our current state budget, which no other state has done, I don't see that that's going to lead to a bright future for the state of Oklahoma.
I would be for lowering the state income tax on the general population. I think that the income tax needs to be fair, needs to be more streamlined and fair for the entire population of the state.
My view of the relationship between the state and federal government is that the state should work with the federal government and the federal government should work with the states in a cooperative manner. For one thing, we would never have a balanced budget in the state of Oklahoma without federal funds. We require federal money to fund a lot of our infrastructure, roads and bridges. We have $9.6 billion coming into the state in federal money for our aerospace installations, military bases, that sort of thing, as well as 1 in 3 Oklahomans is a Social Security recipient. So all that federal money that comes into the state enables us to be able to balance our budget. In light of that, the state owes $16 billion in retirement. They also owe between $2 and $11 billion in bonds that we have bonded for in the past at high rates of interest, I might add. So all the money that we can get from the feds coming back into the state, I think, is necessary for 2 reasons. One, we probably paid in most of it, and in the event that we did not, that money is going to go to another state if it doesn't come back to Oklahoma. So it's not like it's going to be saved by the federal government if we don't take it. And I know our governor and legislature has refused $53 million in the healthcare sector, which I think would be essential to setting up a great insurance program here in Oklahoma. And why they refused it, I don't know, because I certainly paid the income tax into the feds, and it should be coming back to Oklahoma.
State and federal government is mandatory, in my opinion, that they work together. But I also think we need to throw local government into that. Our forefathers set up a structure for our government, and it starts with local, city, and federal. And all 3 of these parts of government have to work hand in hand and do their parts. Local government has part that they need to take part in. Um, Federal government has their part that they need to do, and state has their part, and they all need to do their part and not try to do each other.
Yeah, I ran for this office simply because I could see deterioration of our tax base as the legislature comes into session each year and they start talking about cutting taxes and that sort of thing. We are a very low tax state as far as state and local taxes are concerned. Of course, all states have the same federal tax burden, but state and local taxes in Oklahoma are relatively low. Housing prices are moderate to inexpensive, and so is our property tax. So it's a great opportunity, I think, for people to move into Oklahoma because we have low taxes. They don't need to be any lower. That's not one of 25 reasons why, not in the top 25 reasons why industries locate in a state is the income tax. So I think we can take that off the table as being some way to grow the state, because it is not. I think we need to improve our education system. It needs to be funded. We have 56% of our kids that are in poverty. That's the #1 indicator for low achievement. And what that says is that it requires additional programs, additional personnel, because education is a labor-intensive program. You have to have a lot of one-on-one, and that means that you're going to have teachers and assistants, and you're going to have teachers that are paid a reasonable salary, living wage. Once that occurs, I think you'll see that other industries will come in that pay a living wage. We have notoriously low average wage in the state of Oklahoma. It's $1.74, I think, below the national average. So we need to improve our minimum wage. We need to bring up our average wage in Oklahoma. We need to grow our potential as far as housing. We need to expand our transportation system. We need to put in more rail system. We need to improve our roads and bridges and continue to improve quality of life issues in the state of Oklahoma. That's why people locate in states in different areas, is the quality of life that they find there. So I think we could improve that a lot, especially over on the eastern side. We need to improve the water quality over here. We need to take care of our water and be sure that we have our needs met in this part of the state before we start talking about selling water out of state. So those are some issues that are important to me.
Yes, I have worked in community service my entire life. I have been on the Westville Fire Department for 15 years, Westville Town Council for 10. 6 of that was mayor, various other boards within the community. I've devoted my life to serving the people. And after getting off of the city council, and even before that, I've always had it on my mind that I wanted to serve the people at a higher level. I believe that my grassroots experience on working with community level will give me the opportunity, give me the knowledge, give me the contacts I need to really be a voice for rural Oklahoma in the city. I also believe that I have a piece that I have been sent in this direction by the Lord has sent me in this direction to run for this position. And He'll give me the strength, give me what it takes to handle the position and run a good campaign and be a good state senator.